This is the Apprentice podcast. My name is Brittany. At the end of 2022, I decided that I wanted to start my very first podcast about Black or African American entrepreneurs, activists, authors, artists, really anybody you could think of that's a community leader. Honestly, at first I was going to make a podcast about entrepreneurs, and then February came around, Black History Month, and there are all these things happening about this is a Black African American invention, or did you know African Americans started this and started that, and I became inspired. I'm like, there are all these stories about African Americans that no one knows about. Even today that we're still uncovering different Black stories and Black inventions and Black ideas. And I don't want it just to be a discovery, I want it to be a reality. One thing that's different about this podcast is that it's not done in your typical studio. We'll actually be having conversations with these artists and leaders in the comfort of their chosen environment. And this could be anything from coffee shop to riding in the car, whether it's in the comfort of their own home or playing poker somewhere, I don't know. I think being able to do something like this in the comfort of someone's chosen environment, I feel like it opened up a different side of a person that you would normally hear from within a studio. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I think being able to walk around and being described the things that have made this person the leader that they are today, or even the human that they are today, I think that's beyond inspiring. Okay, my name is Brittany Ransom, and this is the Apprentice podcast.
My name is Vibetonova, and this is the Apprentice podcast. Vibetonova is like vibe to light. Okay. Nova is an explosive star that's like all the galaxies can see, and you can't not see it. Okay. So vibe to light.
Vibe to light. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Yeah. Yes. Tell me about where you grew up. Were you always living in Huntsville? Or?
No. So I was originally born in Hartford, Connecticut. I lived there for 2 weeks. Then moved to New York. And there I stayed till I was about 13, 14 years old. Mm-hmm. Then moved down to the South. Yeah. And then from there, just explored all over the place. Moved to the West for a while, moved to the Midwest for a while, moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, so it's...
Oh, so you were all over the place.
Yeah,
yeah. Were your parents from the military? Or
No. My parents weren't in the military. It's just, my father, he's a pastor, so in the denomination, there's like, they move you around a lot, so every 3 to 5 years, we would be somewhere else. But because of that, growing up, it's like I've always enjoyed moving and exploring new places. So even after graduating and just getting out there and exploring the careers, I loved, my highlight of it was always getting to somewhere else and just being in a new environment. And it built my network and it helped a lot.
Yeah.
So,
oh, awesome. Yeah. And what denomination was?
He's Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
Okay, and awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh man, was that hard to kind of readjusting? I know you say you're going to love it now, but at the time when you were as a kid.
I would say as a kid it was it was cool, I guess. I mean, at first couple times it was a little bit challenging because leaving friends that you may have made at school or whatever. But after a while, it just kind of became a thing I looked forward to. What's the next adventure? So.
Oh, I guess I wonder if other people knew that, you're
right.
I'm ready for the next friends.
This is temporary.
This is cute.
Right? One of the first people I recorded with, his name was John Moses, J-Mo, shout out J-Mo. And it was so crazy because his suite mate was actually my producer who I use now.
Oh, wow.
But we never worked together at that time yet.
Oh, dang. What was that
right.
Just later, hey.
Well, when I moved to California is when I got reconnected with him, and then we started producing and coming up with music, and it was just the experience was so different. And so it's just crazy how the world goes in cycles, and just you're right where you need to be at the right time, even if it's 10 years in advance. So yeah, it was pretty dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess when from college when you were trying to make music, has your music shifted the way?
Oh yeah, tremendous. It's drastically shifted. So when I first started out, I didn't know what direction to go into. Mm-hmm. I was just, whatever felt good to me, I was just making the sound. Mm-hmm. Now it's like I paint the picture and I put myself in that position, and then I can write the music, or like, you know, like I'm able to really get more into it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like it's and the beauty of it is, as you grow, it just continues to evolve.
Is it interesting seeing people's perspective of like your music, or do you just choose to like let them have their perspective and you're just like, I like my music no matter what? Like, or like, what's the perspective, I guess, when putting it out to the public, is what I'm trying to ask.
My perspective on it is like, if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I know this, I'm gonna put out what I would feel is one of the top songs for sure. It's just like, for example, I'll show like, when I first started out, I used to show everybody my music. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And I would be so connected to the music that if someone said something critical or negative about it, I'd feel like, man, like I'm not getting through to the people. But as I continued to grow and I started learning more about marketing, and you learn about your tribes, and you learn about subcultures, and you learn about, you know, everything is not for everybody. Just like Nike is not for everybody, believe it or not. But it's such a huge brand, but they know their core audience. They know who exactly they're trying to reach. So when I started to get those lenses and start opening my eyes and seeing it from that perspective, I was like, okay, it's for certain people. I could show like one of my songs, Overtime, I'll show to some of my people who might have Caribbean roots, because it's more of an Afro or African roots, or it's more of a Afro beat or Afro pop type of song. They might connect to it a little bit more than somebody who likes country or you know, like
I get
whatever other genres. So I had to learn not to take it personal and to look at it through the lens of a marketer, because this is what it is. It's marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Speaking of marketing, I guess there's like your overall brand and everything. Developing that, how has that been for you? Like
it's been a journey. I would say because of my background, it's helped a lot. I have 5 years of I used to be a radio host.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, and in that experience, I was the program director, so I kind of knew like what the area, what they wanted to listen to, and how they wanted to consume their music. And so I looked at how commercial did things for a while, and then took what I learned and put it into my own stuff, and kept trying, test and error. And I'm still, today I'm still testing. We're always just testing to see what works. But yeah, the branding side of it definitely elevated when you grew, you know, add members to your team who really support and help you get to that vision, and they see that same vision that you're trying to achieve as well. So yeah, it's been a process.
Yeah.
It's been a process. I failed a lot. When I first started out, I just thought like, oh, you make the hit song and then it goes and then people love it and it just blows up. Man, I knew nothing about the business side of the music industry. I knew nothing about a PRO, which is, you know, a publishing like representative who like BMI, APSCAP, CSAC, or that's what I'm saying. I didn't understand that there's a process, or, you know, it was just I just want to create, and I mean that's a good thing, but in doing that, I failed a lot because I kept letting myself down, thinking that no, it's supposed to be like this. You just put it out and people just love it, but then you also have to include the marketing, the branding behind it, the consistency that you're doing on social media, or, you know, the websites, or the email, the merch, like it's so much stuff that when you're first starting out, you just look at it like, I just want to create. So, yeah.
Oh man, was that like, how was it navigating that? I bet that's overwhelming to being like, yeah, listen to music. Like, I actually had to do all this stuff before you get to this point.
Well, radio helped with that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because I started learning about licensing. I started learning about the business side of things. I started learning about commercial spots and, you know, billing these national clients, and like it just opened my eyes completely. And it was an experience that I didn't know that I needed.
Okay.
So,
that's cool that poured into that.
Yeah. The older I'm getting, the more I'm like, it's just time to just like really get into your goals and not like waver on it. So that decision, yes, there has been some relationships that probably had to be, you know, cut off in some cases, or in other cases just lessen as far as communication may have gone, but that's because I'm focused. I'm trying to grind so that I can be where I need to be. So
Exactly.
it's really just doing what you have to do.
I know you were doing radio, and
Right.
then in grad school, of course, doing your music, and even now with you're doing reading.
Yeah.
Reading. What's it like being able to figure out, like, I know you have your team, but like understanding like who to surround yourself with,
Right.
what can happen, like can you hang out or not hang out, like how, like really balancing that time out.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so yeah, it was an adjustment at first when I first started out, but I feel like I don't know. I always felt like I was like kind of like an old soul in a sense, because like
Yeah.
after 25, I mean, I might have partied here and there, I might have gone out and hang out, but I really was started like focusing in more on what I wanted to get done. So even if it's like a Saturday night, Friday night, or Thursday or Tuesday, whatever night it is, it's like I have other things that I can get done. Now, the other philosophy to me is like, what am I celebrating? Because it's like, well, I'm going out to celebrate with a whole bunch of strangers that I don't know,
True.
or be at home and develop and make the music that they dance to.
And last question I do want to ask, like, if you could like speak to yourself like when you were younger, like what would you like give yourself advice or warnings? I don't know. What would you what would you say to yourself?
Keep going. Keep going. I mean, I feel like I've had so many different experiences coming up that I wouldn't change. It made me exactly who I am right now. So I would just keep encouraging me to keep going. If you're going on the right path, you're gonna get where you want to be.